If you've ever made the mistake of picking up the wrong drink and spitting the unexpected liquid across the room, well, you know there's nothing worse than a surprise. Statistically speaking, getting the outcome you expect is almost always preferable to getting one you don't. Except for when you're playing Cold Winter. Now, this game was only released 7 years ago for the PlayStation 2, but based on appearances, you'd think it was released 17 years ago for the PlayStation 1. It takes place in an almost stunningly drab world, comprised entirely of stunningly drab grays and browns. Its title is redundant. Statistically speaking, I expected this to suck. Fortunately, Cold Winter farts in statistics general direction. If you were ever a fan of the Nintendo 64 classic GoldenEye, Cold Winter is right up your dark, shadowy alley of international espionage. It tells a solid story about spies, secret agents, gloomy political prisons, people with British accents. It's essentially a Bond game without the license. And actually, that Bond feeling defines the gameplay as well. Cold Winter plays like shooters used to play, very old school in a sense. The weapons are simple, the levels have lots of tight quarters, you have several optional objectives. Especially through a modern lens, it's nice to play a shooter that feels so straightforward. Pick locks, find body armor, blow people's heads off. So obviously that's one area in which Cold Winter feels a little bit different from the typical Bond game. This is a very violent, very gory shooter at times. Heads explode with well-placed bullets, newly orphaned helmets roll across the floor, bad guys are screaming in pain, pretty wicked stuff, pretty decent physics. You know, while their heads are still attached, the enemies actually make pretty good use of them. The AI certainly isn't revolutionary or anything, but for its time, this was pretty good stuff. There were a few times when I was legitimately surprised by a route or approach the bad guys were taking. Imagine that, another pleasant surprise. And really, that's what Cold Winter is all about, pleasant surprises. It doesn't look like much, but it plays like a lot more. It's fun, it's violent, it's old school, it's redundant. It's Cold Winter.